feels great. You know, anytime you be able to step out on the court and play the game you love so much, you know, it feels great. And you know, to be a part of this organization with these guys, these players, these teammates and coaches, you know, it's an honor.
You ain't think you would play that many minutes though?
I don't know. You know, I didn't know, but you know, I knew I was coming. I felt like I was ready for anything that I was needed for us to win.
What was your reaction when you found out that you were getting signed by the Sixers?
It was great. It was ecstatic. You know, it was a dream come true. You know, anytime you get a chance to, like you said, play the game you love and, you know, come up, you know, it was awesome.
How many minutes did I give you?
35.
So think about that. Really think about that. It's a great story. It's a great story. So for Tim to come from Maine and you know, drive up 95 and then change his uniform and go get 34 minutes in an NBA game, that's a hell of a story. And to that kid's credit, he delivered. He did well.
And we're back
at the Garden Report, Part 2.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about Tim Frazier here off the top. Tim Frazier, he makes his NBA debut. He was a Celtics player until tonight. As Brett Brown said, he drove down I-95, put on a different jersey. What a hell of a story it was. Travo, that was a hell of a story.
That was pretty impressive right there. You know, he was talking about how he had to, you know, get from the hotel, you know, room, and then just hop right on the highway and get over there. And man, that's just amazing to come out and play the way he did in his first career NBA game, 11 assists. That's pretty impressive right there, and I think they probably found something right there. I mean, MCW's there, but I mean, you can also have somebody that can actually, you know, be in there and actually facilitate. I think, you know, Michael Carter-Williams comes off, you know, better as a wing player a little bit because he's able to give you everything, rebounds, assists, and points, and he's a slasher in my opinion. He has no jump shot at all. But you know, Tim's gonna do some things.
That guy.
I mean. Tim's gonna do some things, you know, and I think this is just a testimony to how he grinded. That D-League grind is real serious, you know, and it pays off. You just gotta keep going. After the game, I talked to Chris Babb, and he was like, "Hey, I'm out here grinding. I'm trying to get there. I'm gonna be in the D-League, you know, All-Star game, but I still need to get on there." And to see somebody like Tim doing that, you know, that just let him, you know that there's actually hope out there. And like I said, 11 assists, you can't beat that in your first game.
I mean, you're the sneaker guy. Wasn't he wearing some old?
He was wearing some old Kobe's today, man. I don't know the number exactly. He caught me off guard. I was like, oh, I was
real old.
They was old. I think that was the Kobe 2.
That might be. And the reason for that was because when he got the call to go to the team, he couldn't get into the team facility to get his sneakers. So he pretty much had to roll with whatever he had on his feet at the time.
True gamer. Gamer.
And to go out there and dish out 11 assists like that with a bunch of players that you've never played with. I know he was on their summer league team, but it's a completely different group of players on the summer league team than it is now.
Yep.
Maybe not that completely if you look at the roster. But relatively speaking, I mean, I think we can agree that it's a completely different team, and the stuff that they're running is different. So I mean, it's a testament to him to come out and do that like that. But I mean, the Sixers, I mean, they had a guy, Larry Drew, second, who was their backup for the last 12 games. When it came time to sign him to a third contract, they said no, we need that roster flexibility. You know, they're thinking about the future. They're not thinking about now. If they had Drew going tonight at starting over Sampson, they may have won this game. But you know, they're going with the long-term plan here, and so they get another loss tonight because of it. But back to Frazier. I mean, we talked to guys before the game. I talked to James Young, Brad Stevens said the one thing he said about him was he's quick, and that was the one thing that stood out to me watching him tonight was that he's fast.
His explosiveness is great. It's almost like he's a bigger Phil Pressey. You know, the thing is, they had to start a former power forward at the point tonight.
Yeah.
They might have found an answer there. I mean, let's not get over our heads, but we saw what Tyler Johnson did for the Heat last week, where he
they found an answer that this was a wrong decision.
Exactly. Yeah. So at least Brett Brown knows who to put a point next time MCW's out.
I bet you Frazier starts tomorrow.
He will.
No question about that. Sampson's going to be left back in Boston to shovel some snow. Well, Frazier's starting. And you made a good point about MCW. Yeah. I feel like he's kind of very similar to Evan Turner. He's kind of stuck playing point, which works for him, but he might be better off as a 2.
Yeah, I think he's better at a 2 because, like I said, he's a slasher. When he attacks the paint, he's going in there reckless. You know, like just like a Westbrook or like a Ginobili. You know, when they go in there, they're fearless. You know, to the basket, and he's gonna get there. You know, it's either he's gonna make it or he's gonna get fouled. You know, but I feel like what he does is he actually, you know, bows out and you know, actually bails out the defense by taking those jump shots. And that actually doesn't help out for the team because he's had some of the worst field goal percentage, you know, games this year. Like, and I had him on my fantasy, so I understand. I'm speaking from the heart here. So I saw him shoot. I saw him shoot 4 for 16 in the game, and I'm like, come on, dude. But he still had a triple-double. So I'm like, hey,
Well, Rondo used to do that. He'd shoot 1 for 9, and he'd have a triple-double, and people pretended like it was a good game, but still shot for 1 for 9. It was not a good game.
Yeah.
10, 11, and 10. It's like triple-double.
Yeah. It's like, man, what is this? So.
All right, so Sullinger almost had a triple-double tonight.
Almost.
I was
going to say that, but
So, all right, quickly, All-Star. We kind of want to start talking about the All-Star games. We only have one more episode before the All-Star game. So, as far as snubs are concerned, I mean, everyone agrees Damian Lillard's the guy that should be in there.
Definitely.
There's questions about whether Chris Paul should be there over him. I'm kind of leaning towards not.
Yeah.
But with the Eastern Conference, Dwayne Wade is absolutely not going to be playing. He's pretty much ruled that out. So, if someone has to get replaced, we got a few good options here. Why don't we go through and just kind of go through them?
I definitely got to go with Kyle Korver for me. The 50, 50, and 90. You cannot tell me he does not deserve to be there for the display that he's been putting on this year shooting.
No.
It's been beyond real. And it's just a testimony to how the team is. Everybody is playing.
Right.
That, like everybody says, they're the Spurs of the Eastern Conference. And it's like everybody knows their role. They don't have that one superstar, but they have great role players that play like stars at moments when they need to. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the way Kyle Korver is shooting, you cannot leave him open from anywhere on the court. And he's a dead-eye sniper.
You got to snuggle with him in bed at night, otherwise he's going to hit that 3 over.
We dedicated almost an entire episode to these guys a couple weeks ago, just talking about how they were a well-oiled machine. That's pretty much what the consensus was from the Celtics point of view as well. And sure enough, they got their starting 5 was players of the month, which I thought was
incredible.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that was great. I definitely think Korver has a great argument for being on that team. The other guy in the East that stands out to me is Brandon Knight. Obviously in Milwaukee. I mean, that's just a team that's come out of nowhere, really. I mean,
they have.
And Jason Kidd, first-year coach, after failing in Brooklyn, you really didn't have any expectations for them. Parker's down for the year, and the Bucks are still doing their thing. They're still winning some games. Like, they're still in the playoff hunt, or they're in the playoffs as we speak, and Knight's obviously a huge reason for that. So I think it's good to get those guys some recognition because, let's be honest, no one's really paying much attention to the Bucks, so that's kind of a good time to say, hey, like, recognize what this guy's doing way up here.
And if it weren't for what Budenholzer's doing with Atlanta, we'd probably be talking about Jason Kidd as the front runner for Coach of the Year.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, Milwaukee was the worst team in the league besides the Sixers last year. They don't add anybody. They actually lose their top pick in Parker, and they're still. It's not like, oh, the Eastern Conference sucks. They're 27-22, I think, before our recording tonight. They have a pretty good record. They'd be fighting for a playoff spot in the West.
I thought they would have tailed off by now. They haven't.
Yeah, they haven't.
It's crazy though, because like Jared Dudley has stepped up his game like this season. Like there's certain players that are just like emerging and finally getting that opportunity. And I think this is what Brandon Knight needed too in his career. Somewhere where it's like the spotlight is not completely on your forehead. You know what I'm saying? And you can get everything, do everything, undercover. You know what I'm saying? He's able to come in there with no pressure and just ball out. You know what I'm saying? And he's making Jason Kidd look real smart right now.
Might be like that Cleveland effect with J.R. Smith, too. There's just like nothing else to do. We're going to shoot. I guess I'll just show up early today.
Exactly.
He's also playing for a good coach for the first time in his career. It's very apparent Jason Kidd's a really good coach. I mean, the results just speak for themselves.
Some younger guys, like how do you coach KG? How do you coach Pierce? It's just weird.
It was definitely weird because he played them the year before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They went up against each other in very heated.
That's what I'm saying.
Like Jason Terry, like come on, it's just weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
But the one thing is, Giannis gets all the attention in Milwaukee, but Knight's the one that's really doing the work. Giannis, his numbers aren't really that great. He makes some unbelievable plays, and him in the dunk contest is going to be for the ages.
I think people are just in love with Giannis's like potential. You know what I mean? Like they're looking ahead, which is fine. But I just think Knight's the guy right now.
And he's a Sports Center darling, but he's not really doing it consistently. For me, the one guy that deserves some praise, at least for what he's doing, is the Moose, Greg Monroe, a guy that was kind of on the decline. It seemed like last year. It's amazing how that terrible, terrible financial move of getting rid of Josh Smith has been an incredible basketball move for that team. They're freed up. They can run their team the way they should be run. It's allowing Monroe to be a true big man, and Monroe's just been absolutely unstoppable. It really started here when he came to Boston. He put on an absolute show, and he's been just 20 and 10ing it pretty much ever since. He hasn't really had the kind of. It was really mostly January where he's been playing great. Wasn't really a good month. It was a pretty ugly month in December for them, so that's probably why he's the last man out. But he definitely deserves some recognition for what he did.
They definitely have the Twin Towers there now, and that's like the remix of the Twin Towers in my opinion, because you got Monroe that's playing like the Duncan role, and then you got Drummond playing the David Robinson role. You know what I'm saying? And snagging up every rebound and dunking all over people right now. So that's a good little.
I like that comparison.
Thank you. You know, so they're doing big things there, and also you got to give some credit to DJ Augustine too. Came in for Brandon Jennings.
Yeah.
You know, he's out for the season now, and he's been putting up career numbers. He's had already 20 and 12 like a couple of times. So and just replacing him, you know, so that just speaks to their team. That was my sleeper team right there for the playoffs. I thought they was really going to make that push. Yeah, I thought they was going to make that push. And, you know, once they lost Josh, I was like, maybe things will free up for, you know, a lot of the people, and that's what's been happening, you know, so hopefully they keep it rolling.
Yeah, that Josh Smith signing was just bad from the, like, as soon as it happened, everyone was like, it's kind of weird a little bit. Like, you already had Monroe.
Yeah.
You already had Drummond. You wanted to see those guys kind of blossom with each other, and then Smith was just kind of just there, like, taking up shots, taking up space. So, yeah, they ate a ton of money, and it was crazy that they did that. But it's for the best.
Yeah. Well, Joe Dumars kept spending too much money on shiny objects because they were the only ones available. Yeah. I mean, Dumars picked 2 really bad free agency classes to throw a ton of money out there as Detroit was desperate, and it backfired so miserably it's unbelievable. Well, but they've drafted pretty well, though.
Monroe's going to get himself a nice contract here now.
That's true.
He definitely will.
It's a free agent now. That worked out pretty well for him.
Maybe Boston?
Ooh, that's possible.
That would be nice.
But that means that someone's going to have to move on from the Celtics front court because there's not enough room for him and Sully.
All right, Bass. See you later,
Yeah,
Bass.
well, Bass is already leaving. But I don't know about Sully, though. All right, so very quickly here, let's just do baller of the night. So we'll skip the stats. We can all agree Tim Frazier and Jared Sullinger's assist stats are probably the stats of the night.
Definitely.
Let's work it back around. Jimmy, your player of the game.
It's going to be Sullinger again. I mean, we talked about him in the last video. He's a guy who, a couple games ago, we were kind of getting on him for maybe not showing the type of leadership you want to see, showing up late, not once, but twice. I mean, kind of a little bit of red flag there. But speaking for somebody who's been stuck in Boston traffic, and I know you guys have too, it can really catch up to you out of nowhere. And sometimes it just, there's some bad drivers out there, man. All of a sudden you're in the middle of an accident or right behind one and you get stuck. So I give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to see it again. But since then, he's playing great. 22 points tonight, career high assists. So obviously you got to give him the player of the game.
Yeah, I definitely liked just the way how Avery Bradley was locking down tonight. He had 18 points, but he was locking down. It seemed like in the second half, and really buckled down when the Sixers started getting close. And defense wins games and championships, and I've said that from day one. And it's clear that that's what it is. But when you have a ball hawk like him, and then you have somebody else that can help you like Marcus Smart, I think Marcus Smart brings out the best in his defense because he sees what he's doing on one end, and he's like, all right, well now I got to step it up to a whole nother level. And he's been one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, ever since that D Wade block a couple of years ago. And I just liked what he did tonight. He made sure that he hit the shots when we needed him. And it was like, the score was definitely far away. It was a blowout. When they came back, that's when they buckled down. So the way that he kept the composure and kept the leadership going, him and Sullinger, I think that was really huge.
Tim Frazier. Because it's his NBA debut, he had 11 assists. And why would I not give it to Tim Frazier on that one? We got to end it strong. So
first career baller of the night for Tim Frazier.
That's right, NBA debut, baller of the night debut. Congratulations! The trophy will be in the mail for you. So just before we get out of here, a few things to remember. We're powered by lynda.com. Lynda.com is amazing if you want to learn how to do anything. If you're a total bum and you need to learn how to do things to get your life together, I mean, you can just call me up, or you can go to lynda.com. We are powered by lynda.com. We are on CLNS Radio and Celtics blog. You got to subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow these guys on Twitter at Jimmy Scott. Actually, what is it?
Jimmy _
Toscano. Well, you changed your name to James. I didn't remember James.
No, I didn't change my handle, though.
Okay, so James is at Jimmy _ Toscano, at Sneaker Reporter here.
Yep.
You're doing a lot of them. Actually, quickly plug Kicks for Grades. Tell people about that.
Basically, Kicks for Grades is an organization I started up where kids from 8 to 15, they get the honor roll. All you have to do is just tag me in the report card.
Gotta be a legit report card.
Gotta be legit, though. Gotta be legit.
We don't want no
Teacher
fakes out
signature.
there.
Yeah, teacher signature and parent signature. And basically, we just give sneakers out to the kids that get picked, handpicked. And it's a great cause. A lot of kids out there usually get rewarded for, not doing the right things. Some kids that get bad grades still get all the best stuff. So it's just a way to actually take care of the kids that actually get good grades, and their parents aren't in a situation to help them out. So it's been a huge blessing, and I just want to see the growth continue. And I've been reaching out to people in Oklahoma and trying to get it back here in some schools in Boston too. So Reebok has been a huge help, and you know, it's just been a blessing to see, you know, your baby grow into something that's changing kids' lives, and you're actually being a role model. So that's all it's about. It's, you know, Travis loves the kids.
How many kicks you give out last year?
Oh man, 2,000 kicks.
Woo!
So you know, we're just
4,000 feet.
Hey man, we're just trying to make sure these kids can get what they need. You know, so that's what it's all about.
Travis, thanks for making a difference in our community.
Man.
Because
man.
the Garden Report's fun, but you're doing some real
That's
good
right.
in this community.
I'm
That's
trying,
what really
man. I'm
matters.
trying.
And not just Boston, but I mean, now you're doing Oklahoma. You've been doing it all over the country, basically.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be able to be a blessing to, you know, people that actually saw me when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from Boston, so to help out all these kids in Boston, that means a lot to me because it hits home, you know, and I'm trying to let them know that even though I'm not playing in the NBA, I'm still doing something with the NBA. I'm still reaching. There's still other avenues that you can go after, you know, so we might have the next Obama or the next Hillary Clinton somewhere, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's all about making sure that they get the good grades to get where they need to be. And that's the steps we're trying to take.
You gotta look good.
You gotta look good. You gotta look good doing it.
That's right. We got a lot of viewers in the Philippines and Australia, so all you guys get in the game. We can make this we can make Kicks for Grades international.
Sneaker reporter.
All right, so I'm at CLNS_Jared Weiss, and we're about to get out of here. We have one more game left. I'm sorry. Do you want to say something? No, go ahead.
No. I thought you were gonna forget.
I am about to forget.
Shout out to Miss Massachusetts.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Miss Massachusetts.
Exactly.
Miss Massachusetts, holla at me on Twitter.
No. Shout out to Miss Massachusetts for forgetting the national anthem, but you got some help though.
Yeah, so they're gonna hear you're gonna hear about that now
and Kyle
as we
had
get
to help.
out of here. So for Jimmy, for Travo, it's great having him back on the show.
Man. Thank you.
Garden Report.
I'm gonna miss you
Peace
guys.
out, man.
Think of what happened with the national anthem singer and the way the crowd helped her out.
I thought that was big time on our fans. You know, that's big time. When you're singing in front of people and you have to sing a song, and I can only imagine the nerves that was going through her. And for our crowd to pick her up the way they did, without laughing at her and just being by her side, that shows a lot of respect for the city of Boston. And I thought that was big time on our.